Yes, you are. Once again, hopefully, or if it's your first time, please subscribe to us on Twitter. You can follow us at, X. Oh boy,
X.
this is off to a great
Did we
start.
do a test recording? Are you just gonna
Yeah, I did. I
do it
did. I
live?
did. I
Okay.
did the part where I say I see.
You see.
We're a comedy podcast. We talk about movies, news, pop culture, and our personal lives. And you can follow us on X at MackYRathOUSE. What's going down? And this is I'm a Mr. And I can't say that.
No, very close. Trying to get
Oh,
us canceled? What the hell's wrong with
yeah,
you?
I'm the mysterious Mr. X,
Serious, yes.
and with my co-host Caleb.
Not mysterious whatsoever.
Very still mysterious. Caleb could be. It's not as Mr. X. It's like
Yeah.
I stole it from Homer.
Super villain or something.
No. There's a Simpsons where Homer's like, and here's the origin story.
Mm.
There's this Simpsons where Homer makes like a conspiracy website, and
Mm-hmm.
his name is and the website is called Mr. X, and it's just Homer with a sack over his head with an X that looks, a lot like the X-Files X.
Mm. So is your real name Homer then?
Well, I'm not gonna say.
No.
I
Okay.
can't reveal that.
Fair
That
enough.
puts people, even though that's not my name, it puts people too close to my name.
That's true, yeah.
Anyways, what have you been up to?
Uh, been kind of an annoying week, I guess I would say.
Oh, me too. That's great. Why you?
Uh, just fixing a lot of different things. Like my mom, one of the only things that she likes to do is watch her Fire TV device, which I assume you know what those are. It's
Yeah,
basically like a Roku or whatever.
yeah, we have one.
Yeah, and it stopped working because I guess HBO Max made it so that their app doesn't work anymore with old versions of Fire OS, which is the operating system that Fire TV uses. So basically, after a lot of troubleshooting, a lot of research, we have to get a new one, and then I'll have to set it up, and it's going to be a whole thing. But yeah, it's just annoying.
They didn't seem that I've used it. It didn't seem that difficult, to be honest. Like putting in like passwords and usernames and stuff.
Well, I mean, the easy part will be, well, the kind of easy part will be setting it up. But I was trying to like figure out what the problem was, and it took a while before discovering that that was the likely issue, is that it was just old. And then I had to do research on which one was the best replacement to get. And then because the new one doesn't have a certain feature that we use, I'm going to have to use a workaround, which requires setting up a file server, which is not going to be fun. That's going to be the difficult part.
I see. This is not a very funny episode already.
Yeah, you wanted to. I
Yeah.
mean, real life is not funny.
No,
It's just
no.
annoying.
Yeah, it'd be cool. A podcast that's like just a boring, about super boring people that
Boring, random bullshit in your
yeah,
life.
makes makes the listener's life seem way more interesting.
Yeah. The nothing crazy happened. Like, oh man, it was a really annoying week. We had a
Tree fell in our
thief
house.
break into the house, and I
Yeah,
had to murder him
that's
or
great.
something.
You consider if someone breaks into your house and you kill them murder?
Yeah, yeah, I would consider that.
Interesting.
I consider any instance of where someone kills another person to be murder. I go for the religious definition.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's true. I think so too. Now that you say it that way. Well, that's good. I saw the movie Michael.
Michael, what movie is this?
The Michael Jackson movie. It's just called Michael.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think
You
there's
saw it,
already a
huh?
movie called Michael too. Is it called Michael or is it called like something like Michael, Birth of the Greatest Star of All Time or something?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one with God, what's his name? Let me look it up real quick.
John Travolta. I know what you're talking
Yes,
about.
John
It's John
Travolta. Yes,
Travolta.
the Angel movie.
No. That has stuff happen in it. Okay. I saw this movie, Michael. And remember on the last episode we talked about some stuff like how the because Michael Jackson hated Jewish people and they spent that using their power and control over the media to basically like smear him for his entire life,
Yeah,
and other stuff, right? Like how we wanted Joe Jackson to beat him.
we did want that. Yeah,
Yeah, and
we wanted a very long section with Joe Pesci and Moonwalker,
yeah,
as
we
I
want
recall.
that's right. We want all this good stuff, right? And they go so this is like one of the most like so I just got to
Is
say a
this
few
movie only
things.
in theaters? First of all,
Maybe.
did you have to? You saw it in a theater,
Yeah,
right?
of course. It's a Michael Jackson
Okay.
movie. I'm going to see it in the theater.
Okay.
And I love going to the movies, so that was great.
You do, yeah. Did you get any popcorn,
No,
nachos, Snickers?
no, when I arrived there was a homeless man with the classic look of having his sweats on, covering everything except his ass. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I wanted an icy actually.
Excellent choice. Yes.
And I was like, you know what? Let's just go sit down in the seats.
Now, how were you able to do this? I know you have a family. Did you go with your family?
Me and Vanessa went on my birthday. Well, the kids were in school.
Oh, okay, nice.
And it's on Tuesdays, tickets are half price. So Tuesday day is the day to see
Nice.
a movie.
Very good.
Oh yeah, when we got there was like some like Arab, some maybe Somalian, maybe Arab or something, all by himself with a backpack. Which I'm not trying to say like
Wow.
I'm not trying to say it's like whatever, but don't bring a
Dangerous.
backpack to a movie theater. I don't care if you're I have no idea. I don't care if you're homeless. He may have been in fact homeless, but he's like, I'm homeless and I'm also Samoan. He looked just like the pirate from Captain Phillips. So I was like like a younger version, right? And I
Huh,
was like,
okay.
all right. I was like, God damn it. Now I'm gonna enjoy Michael, but I also am in the back of my mind going to have a fear that this guy's gonna blow us up. Great,
The captain from Captain Phillips. Okay.
yeah, like a you know
A
early
Somali
20s
pirate.
version one. Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
we could be like a terrorist or whatever. I don't know. Not a terrorist. He could be whatever. Just blow you up. Who cares? But he looks like
I
the type that I'm not saying this is like a racial profiling thing, but if there was a movie
I
called
just find it
Michael and
funny that you say he looks like the pirate from Captain Phillips
he
and not like a marathon runner or something that is similar, but maybe more
No, he looked
respectful.
exactly like that guy. I'm
Huh,
not
all
saying it
right.
to diss him. Maybe I just think they all look alike. Maybe he looked nothing like him. Actually, I don't know. It looked enough like
Okay.
him for me to be like, this. What?
This guy could have
This
been
is
a
the
fucking
captain.
Somali pirate.
Exactly. What's going? Who knows what? You probably had a machete in there or something. Maybe
Maybe
that's
it was
more.
the guy. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, yeah. He's completely
Huge fan of
broke
Michael
now.
Jackson. Yeah.
You know how Nathan for you has is like semi-scripted. Sometimes things just happen, and even you can see
Yeah.
what's his name, who I love. Uh, oh my God, Nathan Fielder.
Mm.
You can see
Hmm.
him like kind of like be like he wants to lay into it. Something happens and he's like, "What?" Or he'll like look over or something. You'll just see it on his face like that was better than you could plan it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And there's this one like where he's trying to pitch a show because another person who was on his show got a real show on A&E and he made the story arcs. He's all extra jealous of him.
Hmm.
And he has this other guy who's a security guard he uses who told him that he loves big boobs. And
Uh-huh.
he's always like having that shown, and then they go to pitch a reality show for him just about how he loves big boobs. But he's like, when you go to these things, you gotta do some like industry talk, as an icebreaker. Do you think you can do that? And he's like, yeah, I can do that. And then they get there and they sit down with like this cool ass looking guy who's an executive, He's like one of these handsome executive guys,
Yeah, yeah.
And like jeans, like a white button up, untucked and stuff. And he sits down and he's like, hey guys, so I heard you have something for me today, this and that. He's like, yeah. And then the guy goes, uh, the actor who played the Somali pirate in Captain Phillips? And the guy's like, yeah. And he's like, he's he lost all of his money. He's like completely broke now. And then the guy goes, oh, that's unfortunate. So yeah, basically that's true though. And he's just completely broke. He might have just been there looking like in like a in 90 degrees. He has a black longshoreman beanie on and and sweatshirt and sweatpants, like he's a boxer or
Okay.
something, and a backpack. I was like, God
Yeah,
damn it.
right.
But he was eating chicken wings, right? So that lowered my, like that would be an
How did
excellent last meal on one side.
he snuck chicken wings into the theater?
No, I think he bought. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, he might have just got like Chick-fil-A chicken wings. I didn't really check. I should have asked him. I should be like, excuse me, did you buy
Hey,
those?
homie, where'd you get them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was still gotta like be like try to scare him, be like, were those purchased at the
excuse me,
movie theater
sir.
kitchen?
Yeah.
And so that made me a little less nervous. I'm like, nah, this guy's just. It's probably not gonna blow me up, if you're eating chicken wings, right?
That's true. It's very
Okay,
true.
yeah. So then you should get your mom an illegal cable box. Screw setting up all this Fire Stick stuff. Just get her to one that gives you everything.
I mean, yeah, if I had the Chinese hookup like you, I probably would.
Yeah, I should ask. Yeah, I should ask Josephine. She wished me a
Should,
happy
yeah.
birthday. I should be like, hey, Josephine, thanks for the happy birthday. Can you help me get a? Can you help us get a illegal cable box that gives us everything?
I don't mean to presume over much here, but would you happen to know how to get one of these illegal cable
I'm
boxes?
sure she knows someone, or but she's Chinese and her boyfriend's Mexican. Between the two of them, for
Oh
sure, we can
wow, what
get
a
it.
combo that is! Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
they're pretty great. They're pretty
They're not
awesome.
paying for shit over there. That whole household.
Yeah, everything's rigged up. They have the electricity coming from the lamp and stuff
Yeah,
outside.
literally just broke open a street lamp and just patched it in.
That's great. Um.
Smart.
Oh yeah, but before you're like, oh God, another, this racial profiling, racist, anti Captain Phillips guy, right?
Hmm.
Also, there was a very liberal looking white woman who like walked with her entire soda, and this wasn't empty. She wasn't going for a fruit refill because I heard it slushing around. And like looked, like is walking looking like, someone's about to jump out and scare them at any moment, like that type of white
Uh-huh.
woman. And then I was
Sure.
also worried that she was going to blow up the movie theater. So let that put
Hmm.
things in perspective.
I mean, she sounds more like a journalist than anything else.
No, I don't trust
Just
her.
seeing the Michael
There,
movie to write about it.
yeah, she had to leave. That's the other thing I was leaving. Nothing happens in this movie, first of all. Before we get into it, let me just rest assured, nothing happens in this movie. But she was still like, this is too traumatic for me to sit through. I have to leave halfway into the movie.
I can't possibly watch Michael get beaten anymore.
Yeah, that'd be sick if. Okay, we're gonna talk about that. Let's just start
It's
talking about
brutal. It's rated R.
it. It should have. So let me tell you some cool stuff. But I learned so much about just after watching Michael and being like, something's very wrong here, and we're gonna get into this big conspiracy. This is episode where I
Uh-huh.
talk a lot. I'm sorry. I wish you had seen Michael. It sounds like you looked for it, and that's why you realized it was only in theaters.
No, I actually completely forgotten about it, but it looks like I can download it, so maybe I'll do that.
Even
Go to the theater and see it. I can
Yeah,
maybe do
we
that.
always support movie theaters. We love
Always in
movies.
the theater. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it does rule. You watch it and you're like, man, even Michael Jackson in this movie that's just a love letter to him. It's like a cartoon, like it's not
Uh-huh.
even. It doesn't even seem like real. It's like a movie that someone wrote about a fake person. It's so crazy. Um, but the movie does rule at the same time, and you should for sure watch it in movie
Hmm.
theaters. I'm not lying. You
Absolutely.
should
Yeah.
go there. I like Michael Jackson's music. You like Michael Jackson's music. They play
Of
his
course.
music in the theater, and it's like all loud. It's like bigger and louder than you'd ever listen to it in any other way.
Sure. Yeah.
Like this rules. Michael Jackson rules. His music rules. This incarnation of him even rules, even though it's nothing happened. But I learned so much about this. Okay, like let me ask you this. You know Randy Jackson?
I do. Yeah.
Was Randy Jackson? And I'm not asking if I know he's not his brother. I don't think you're stupid, but was Randy Jackson
Uh-huh.
in the music group The Jacksons?
The Jackson 5.
Well, they were called the Jackson 5, but then they were also called the Jacksons because Motown Record owned the rights to the Jackson 5. I learned that too.
Oh. Huh. No, I would say he's not in the Jackson.
He
The
was in
Jacksons.
the Jacksons.
Wow, that's crazy.
So, and they do not say this in the movie. There should have been a long scene where they're like, "Oh, Randy Jackson. Oh, we get Randy Jackson. His name is Jackson. We're still the Jackson. We can go by the Jacksons, y'all. We're gonna,
He's
we're gonna
just
trick
another
people,
Jackson.
dude." So Joe Jackson. If you watch this movie, they try to show Joe Jackson as the bad guy. But if you really watch it, the subtext is Joe Jackson rules. Like if
Well,
you,
yeah, obviously Joe Jackson's the man.
yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
holding it down.
They make him seem like God. Okay, so we're just gonna. So. Anyways, I learned that. So Randy Jackson's in it simply as a way to trick people, and they do not. Everything you get is you watch this movie and you're like, wow. I really don't know anything more about Michael Jackson than ever. I might know less after seeing this movie. So you do this research, right? And then you slowly unravel this, what the movie should have been and is actually about. And it's about Joe Jackson rules.
Wow.
So we'll get into the other stuff, all the stuff that I learned, right? The Randy Jackson thing's just to, moisten your appetite.
Sure. Moisten. I like that choice of word.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's great. Yeah, I don't
Coulda
like it.
just
That
gone
makes
with
me
wet, but-
uncomfortable. Yeah, moisten. I don't like it. It's like a bit
Moist.
vaginal.
Yeah, very
I
vaginal
don't like
reference.
that at all. Well, do you know where Michael Jackson is from?
Uh, um, I feel like Tennessee,
He's from Gary, Indiana.
Indiana.
The
So close.
funniest
Yeah,
one,
damn.
Gary.
I knew that.
Okay, so before that, let me tell you, this movie where nothing happens. Originally, it was a movie where originally it started off with him, and from what I pieced together from this movie, it started off with him at the sexual assault hearing, right? And then
Hmm.
it goes into his early life and like goes up to that and maybe lays out some stuff on why he was a little weird and blah 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 and sleeping
Hmm.
over with kids and the alleged molestation. And then the last part of the movie was on that portion, But there was a clause in the settlement with the child between the Jackson estate that prevented them from ever using a movie depicting him or his likeness in regards to the Michael Jackson trial.
I see.
Yes, and they learned that only after finishing an entire movie.
Oh, that's inconvenient.
And this is where the conspiracy starts.
Hmm.
They give it to an editor, presumably Jewish. And actually, check that for me. And they edited together this movie. And it starts, and it's just like whatever. It starts off in Gary, and it's like they're the Jacksons, and they have to practice a lot, like it or not. The dad works in a factory. Joe Jackson works in a factory. And then there's one little scene where he beats Michael with his belt on top of his clothes
On top of his clothes.
one time. Not even bare-assed. Which Joe Jackson probably definitely did, if not just punching Michael in the face with his fist.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then people want to look at Joe Jackson like he's evil because he did all this stuff to basically make his kids like stars, you know?
Hmm.
But even more than that, it's Gary, Indiana, 1970, like 3. There's no kid who's not being beaten bare ass with a belt. It would be way more out of the norm to be like, oh, we just love our son and, you know, we don't do any corporal punishment or anything, you know?
That's very true.
Yeah, so this depiction of him is not bad at all, really, compared to the brutal fist beatings he presumably gave all his kids, right?
Sure, yeah.
And
They cartooned it up.
yeah, exactly. He's barely even a bad. That's the worst thing he probably does in the whole movie. But it's implied that he whipped because everyone's so like scared of him. It's implied that he whips him more, right? And then you know, they do well and they blah 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 and the Jackson 5 moves to LA and stuff. You know, they become more and more successful with Michael's songs.
Yeah.
And then it's like Michael's older and there's a rivalry. Oh, he gets a nose job. Or he makes a solo album and Joe Jackson's like, you crazy. Oh, and also it's the origin of the, you know how they're always like, shut up, LaToya, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
LaToya, you don't, you know, like that type of like stereotype that used to be there. Where at a scene, he's like coming to talk to the mom. And then he's like, LaToya, leave the room. And I was like, wow, is that the origin of them treating LaToya like a Meg-like person forever?
Yeah.
And then Michael Jackson gets a monkey. And he's like,
Wow, they have bubbles in this?
yes, they show bubbles. It's so crazy. They show bubbles. Okay, so we'll get to the other part. But they show bubbles, yeah. And everyone's like, this is the beginning of what I presume Joe Jackson hating this effing monkey for his entire life started. And he's like, everyone's this and that. And they're like, Michael, and that's CG. They didn't even they know that since Jafar Jackson, Michael Jackson's nephew, played Michael in the movie.
Hmm.
Presumably he knows how dangerous monkeys could be. So instead of using a live chimp, they use a weird CG one. But you know, Jafar Jackson's like, I'm not getting near any damn monkey. My damn uncle had that fucking monkey. Countless
I watched
times
that movie Nope. I saw what happens in that shit.
Yeah, I saw Nope. Yeah. That's good. That's a good scene.
I didn't know that this was Michael's nephew.
Yeah, I believe it's his nephew. Jafar Jackson is in it.
Huh. Okay.
Well, we know it's not one of his kids because he's
Jermaine,
black.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what
Jafar.
yeah, Jafar. He's named after the bad guy from Aladdin.
He should have had the annoying parrot on his shoulder.
Yeah, he should have had a scene. Well, Michael Jackson.
Gilbert
How he's
Godfrey.
they make. Oh, also Michael Jackson loves animals in the movie, and not once is he ever. And this is more of the Jew conspiracy stuff. So as we know that we explained in the last episode, Michael Jackson loved the ladies. Actually, well, you
Sure,
know he's
yeah.
famous for it, right? He's famous for taking home very hot, attractive women from his shows and having sex with them.
Mhm.
But in this
Famous for
movie,
that.
he's basically in the, some people say it, I don't know. It's not none of this stuff. Everything that you hear here like this is stuff that they will slowly erase from the internet, and we will be, if we are not erased, one of the last places for
The final source of
rumors
true
like
information.
this. Yeah. And so anyways, in this film he is shown not around any women ever except one time, and it's this white girl, and presumably she's supposed to be like an implied Janet Jackson, because Janet Jackson also doesn't exist in this universe.
Wow.
There's no Janet Jackson
They
in
didn't
the
have permission to
movie.
use Janet Jackson. Wow. Okay.
They did not have the permission to use Janet Jackson, so she does not exist in this universe.
That's the best part of the movie, honestly.
That's a,
Janet Jackson conspicuously absent.
she's never born.
That's cool. Michael Jackson from another dimension.
Yeah, it's like a bizarro world where none of this molestation stuff ever happened. This is what he would have been.
It's like the Fringe universe version.
Yeah, it's crazy. They should go like an eye patch and stuff. That would have rolled.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
So he gets this monkey, and he's like, "Everyone, I got a monkey." And they're like, "Michael, you're crazy, man." Wow.
You crazy.
Basically. And then he's like, "No, he's fine." And Joe Jackson comes out, and he's, presumably in real life, he was cracking his knuckles, ready to beat the shit out of Michael, right?
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, and then one of the other Jacksons is like, "Michael, is that a thing dangerous?" He's like, "No, he's great. He's a greater ape or something, this and that." He's like, he just, this is paraphrasing, but he's like, he just basically bite the face off of someone he didn't like, or maybe that his master didn't like. And they like both look at Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson's like, keeps doing this thing where he's got this like, "You son of a bitch" smile on his face. Like he's like the type of smile you give someone before you sucker punch him. Like this is it. This is Joe Jackson the whole movie. And he like is giving Michael that look, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, "Oh man, you crazy, Michael." And he goes back inside, right? Because and this is why Michael Jackson bought this ape. Okay, he did it to terrify Joe Jackson. I believe from this movie that he bought all, because he had a giraffe, or he had like other animals, right?
Oh yeah, he had like a whole menagerie.
Yes, a whole menagerie of animals, absolutely. And this is like, this might be slanderous against Michael, like the Jews who edited this movie. But I believe that Michael did not care about animals. But if he had just bought the chimp to terrorize Joe Jackson from the beginning, it would be too much of a front against his family, So he had to buy these other animals and then get the ape and be like, "This one could kill you, Joe."
That's sweet.
Yeah. And that should have led to all sorts of like situations where Joe Jackson's like, "Michael, I told you got to go on the Pepsi tour." This and okay. So, anyways, then Joe Jackson gets a lawyer, and this guy helped produce the movie with the Jackson estate. This lawyer of his, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Man, I'm Michael Jackson's best friend, and thusly a really good lawyer." And he's like, "I'm a lawyer. And I'm a lawyer in this movie, and you're going to keep seeing me, right?"
Mm-hmm.
But then he also allowed an entire movie to be made, not knowing that it wasn't legally allowed to be.
Yeah.
So how
That
good
a
is this
sweet,
guy as a lawyer,
factoid.
really? Yeah, think about that. So then Michael Jackson, like, he does his solo stuff and blah, 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 and they go on the Pepsi tour, right? Where he burns his hair.
Okay.
And, but before that, Joe Jackson this is like how he got the Pepsi tour and all this stuff, right? The whatever tour, whatever it's called, right?
Okay.
Don King and him are chilling, smoking cigars and drinking cognac. And he's like, I got an idea, Don. I love how you promote Mike Tyson. And then Mike Tyson also knew Michael Jackson. That is not in the movie either.
Yes.
And that's like how Don King gave Joe Jackson this Pepsi tour idea. Mike Tyson should have give Michael Jackson the idea of molesting kids because he beat his wife, you know? He's like, I'm beating my wife. I'm, this and that. He's like, it's pretty great. And then he's like, yeah, that gives me an idea too.
That's a fine idea, Michael.
It's in a similar vein. So there should have, so they're sitting there, Don King, and he's like, you can get Michael, can't you? Yeah, like, it's a great thing because Don King was like, this is another rumor. He did talk like this, and they got this right, where he's like, he'd be like, huh, and The Simpsons actually portrayed him like this too, this exact like kind of tone. And he's like, oh yes, sir, Joe, I do love deals, this and that, and my pros are the best, but only works if Michael's there. You can get Michael, can't you? And like he was famous for like doing like that was like the way he talked about business. Like he'd be all nice and then he'd be like say something super real in your face. Like Don King really rules. They should have made a Don King movie and not this BS.
That would be a hell of a movie.
That would be awesome, dude. And then he's like, yeah, I just need some ideas, to get the Jacksons back off the ground. And he's like, what you need to do is get your own monkey. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, I see it. I see how Michael terrorizes you with his monkey. You need to get your own monkey and have it establish dominance, and then you will be the alpha male of the house again. And he's like, he gives that. That's
a great idea.
Yeah, he's like, okay. He's like, and then we can we can show it to the world in front of 60,000 people. Michael's monkey versus Joe's monkey, and have them fight a boxing match, this and that. He's like, I was kind of hoping to get not boxing related, like show related. It's like, oh yeah. Then do the Pepsi tour. Oh, also they make it seem like that's why Michael did it, because Joe Jackson was like, you see you did your solo career, this and that, but the Coca-Cola of this is the Jackson, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, he's like, all right, I'll do it. They go on this Jackson tour, right? But Jermaine stayed. I think it's Jermaine. Which one's the oldest one?
I think that's Jermaine.
And Jermaine stayed with Motown Records. And they're like, and Joe Jackson's like, man, fuck Jermaine. He stayed with Motown's when we went to CBS. He can, he's not in the tour. But what they leave out is he goes, but people think there's 5 Jacksons. And he's like, we'll just get any old black guy, this and that. He's not that. And like, yeah, but then we won't be the Jacksons. We'll be Jacksons and like, the Washingtons. And he's like, dude, well, our name's Jackson. Just find us another extra dark black guy.
People named Jackson.
Just go to Gary and throw a rock. We'll get someone, okay? And that's how they got Randy Jackson.
That makes perfect
sense.
And
he's very dark, right? So he could, no one will know. And that's also later in the movie. The mom's like, I knew you were special, Michael. When he burns his head with the Pepsi, she goes, I knew you were special. I knew it from the minute you were born. I was like, how could she know that? And I was like, oh, because Michael's light-skinned. And his brothers are all extra dark.
True.
It's the classic it's not racist. There's like a term for it, like
eugenics.
Like across the globe, like people, Like in like the Dominican Republic, there's like racism towards other Dominicans who are darker skinned.
Who are darker. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like the same, like
Same way in Asia.
yeah, yeah, in Asia too. Even if they're like
Yeah.
Chinese, even if it's a Chinese person.
Yeah, the darker skinned ones are always like farmers and shit.
Yeah,
And
they're
the
like,
light skinned ones are like leaders and scientists and
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. They even if they could help, they can't because they're darker. The hierarchy exists in the Jackson family as well. And he burns his head, and he's like, "I'm gonna." And then, even though he was addicted to, I mean, he became addicted to him because of this. They have this scene, and they don't show that, but they do have a scene where he's like, "I don't want to take any drugs," and he's like, "You have to, Michael." Like it's like just like a anti,
You
know,
have to.
basically, he's like, you had your head burnt down to your skull. You're gonna fucking need these, okay? And he's like, "Well, I have to wear a wig." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, they make him like super resilient, all this stuff, And then, so that's the Pepsi tour part, right? And then and Michael's like, "I'm not gonna do. This is our farewell tour. From now on, it's just me solo." And Joe Jackson was like, no, this tour is gonna go on, and we're gonna visit every country in the world."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I don't think so." And then he's like, goes to his wife, and he's like, "When Michael gets back," and this is like the end of the Joe Jackson arc. This is when he's truly defeated, and this is not a joke. Okay, this is when he's absolutely truly defeated.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "When Michael gets back, what? You're gonna whoop him?" And he's like, "You can't whoop him anymore. You can't whoop anyone anymore." And there's this look on Joe, and I truly believe that this is how it went down in real life. But there's this look of realization on Joe Jackson's face where he's like, "I can't whoop anyone, no, Bo." he's like, "Oh my God, I traded the most important thing to me for what? Money?" Like I thought it's gonna be like a moment like that. He's like, "This is not what I want. We should have stayed in Gary, Indiana. I could have been beating these fools into their 40s." Like it was so great. I was like, "Damn, this is ultimately all he cared about was whooping people." They took that from him. I was like, "Good Lord." This is so sad. That was the saddest part of the movie for me when she told me he can't even beat his wife anymore. That's what she was saying.
He had like a Matthew 16:26 moment where he's just like, "What is a man profited?"
It was
Can't
exactly
even whoop
like
my
that.
family anymore.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Let's look that up actually.
Look what up.
It's like, what is it what is a man if he gains?
Oh, what good would it be to gain the world if you lose your own soul? That's
Yeah,
Matthew
what good
16:26.
what good would it be to gain the world but you can't whoop anyone no more?
But what is a man profited if he gains the whole world and can't even whoop his own kids?
That sucks, dude, for sure.
Yeah, I truly believe that was what the Lord was referring to.
I would say so. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's true. It's a great interpretation.
We'll have to ask. Steve if he ever talks to us again what his interpretation might be. But I believe that's what it is.
Yeah, you can't whoop your wife and kids. For
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
So they also showed an origin where he first gets on the Jews' bad side, and it's pretty much from this. After this, they try to kill him by burning his head, by burning him to death,
Uh-huh.
and all the other stuff. It's all downhill from here. This point in the movie, he goes in. There's a Jewish guy, played by Mike Myers, cameo by Mike Myers,
Wow. Okay.
and he's
I
like,
didn't see that coming.
he's like, "Hey, Shalom, you've made me a lot of money. What can I do for you?" And he's like, Michael's really happy that he made the greatest selling album of all time, and the Jewish guy's like, yeah, it's pretty good. And then he's like, and then he's like, and he really loves making his short movies, which are just music videos, mind you, but he called them that, I guess. And he goes, they need to get played on MTV. And he's like, they don't play black stuff on MTV. What are you gonna do? And he's like, I don't want that. I want you guys making money. I don't want people looking at you. I'm Jewish, you know? And then he's like, well, with all due respect, I'm Michael Jackson, so there's more money to be made. You better do it. And he's like, all right. All right. And he calls the guy another Jew. And he goes, you better play these videos. Otherwise, what's the ultimate threat a Jewish person can make, especially to another Jewish person?
I don't know, a lawsuit?
That's they're two in the same almost. I'll take money out of your pocket.
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
The ultimate Jew threat. He's like, I'll pull all this stuff. It's going to cost you a lot of money. And then he's like, there you go, Michael. How about that, huh? And then that's how they showed in the movie. But after that, he's like, Bobby, I'm sorry I had to do it. There's money at stake here. You know that? And he's like, but I got an idea. Since he has done this to the Jewish community, we'll try to kill him by lighting him on fire eventually. And then that couldn't even kill Michael Jackson because they forgot that Michael Jackson, though very weird, is still black and thusly hard to kill.
True, yes.
So then they went the other route, or they just kill your reputation forever.
Yeah.
And that's the movie, Michael.
Wow.
Then he's
I
like,
can't wait to see these looks on Joe Jackson's face throughout.
dude, Joe Jackson's the mean bones of the movie.
You really
for sure.
sold the movie to me on that aspect.
They should have more scenes though where he's like, Joe's like, damn it, Michael's it. Then he's like, I told you get out of here, Joe. And then he's like, Michael, there's Michael, this and that. And then it's like, it's like the chimp like pounding his fist against the
Bubbles
table.
comes out of a closet.
He's like, okay, all right. He's like, okay, man, we'll talk about this later. You know I don't like the monkey. Dude,
Get your monkey off me.
Yeah, the monkey rules. There's so many great stories about the monkey. He kept the monkey like till it was old as hell, like hugging it and like holding it and stuff. Like
Yeah.
Michael, well into his like white phase, he had this monkey. Like, even when it was old as fuck, gray hair and stuff.
The monkey aspect of it.
Yeah, the dangerous stuff. Like someone said when it was getting like old and like fidgety and angry that Michael Jackson had it in a limousine in an extremely small space with him. And it was scaring. I can't remember who told this. I wonder who. But he's like this and that. And to calm and to basically have the monkeys not kill them, Michael Jackson punched it in the stomach hella hard.
Wow.
Like to assert dominance. Yeah, Michael Jackson was hard as nails. Like they always like paint, but he was like we said, he was a great businessman. He was a brilliant musician.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he always was like, you know what the best thing about, and they don't talk about it. They don't mention this, but the best thing about Michael Jackson is he wanted to be the best. Also, he wanted it to be like, I don't want there to be any question about it. So like he had to like cut loose Quincy Jones, the lawyer, and his dad, even though for the most part they did help him so that he could do stuff without them and people wouldn't be like, oh, it's because of this person or because of this person.
Yeah, it's all because of Joe Jackson.
Yeah, Joe Jackson whooped him. That's what this, got him.
Yeah, that instilled.
That's the one thing that stuck with him. That's the only thing he couldn't shake, the fact that he whooped him, right?
Sure, yeah.
And so many people were friends with him. Mike Tyson. Oh, Liza Minnelli, which
Oh yeah,
rocks.
forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Uh, Chris Tucker from Rush Hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'd hang out. Eddie Murphy. All these people, like, he'd
All the
spend
big
time
stars
with,
of the day.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, you're pretty famous. I guess I'll hang out with you.
I guess I'll chill with you.
And then they do show that he helped out. He, did charity for like Children's Hospital and stuff. And he gave the insurance settlement to, which was millions of dollars at the time, which was a ton of money back then, to the burn ward at the hospital he was rehabbed at.
Hmm.
And he's a pretty great guy. But the if you really go and you look into this stuff, especially the scandals and stuff, like he had a small beef with Eminem.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. He bought the Beatles library. He did so much like stuff that was like, sorry, I just had to do it. I had no choice. He like loved movies and like input and commercials and film too, and he loved movies.
Sure, yeah.
Just like me. I'm a lot like Michael
Just like
Jackson, the
you.
more I think
You're
about it.
basically, yeah, you're basically Michael Jackson.
I'm gonna start dancing like him.
You should get a monkey.
I should get a monkey for sure. That'd be awesome. That
Yeah,
scared the
that'll
shit
show
out of the
Van.
neighborhood for sure. All these Jews that showed him. Um, and he did so much great stuff. Like they made it kind of implied that they're gonna fight it and try to get the second part of the movie, because at the end they're like, in James Bond, they're like, James Bond will return again, and Michael too, or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
At the end it says his story continues, like they're gonna do a sequel.
We're still in the courts. Maybe next time we'll have Janet.
Yeah, maybe next time we'll have Janet. Janet will be birthed. We'll do a little recap where we don't hide that.
Oh
And
yeah, we forgot to mention this broad.
we forgot Janet Jackson, the person, the Jackson he was closest with, and if could be
Yeah.
portrayed as a friend. Why he had no friends. And he definitely had friends
Yeah.
and stuff too before he was famous. It's like so stupid. They make it seem like he never had a friend at all, just because Joe Jackson was either too busy beating him or having them on the road and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, was Macaulay Culkin in it?
No, none of that. No kids are in it.
Huh.
The only
Wow.
time they portray him with a child is when he's signing autographs or visiting them before they die. That's so stupid.
What a funny movie.
Yeah, I know, it is super funny. It like makes it seem like he was like free of sin. This is like practically like a Jesus
Really
movie.
showing a side of Michael that no one knew.
Yeah, you don't get anything from it. You got to go and learn about it. Most people won't, but you got to go do some Googling of him. People
That's
just love the
awesome.
dancing. Like they had these like
Sure,
videos of like people going to the front of the theater and dancing when he was dancing and like stuff like that. People dancing during the credits and like, that sucks. Only if you can only see a movie on Tuesdays for half price.
Yeah.
Like
Good
an
idea.
opening and stuff. People being like, who knows what it would have been like with the Michael Jackson movie. Some guy who thinks he's funny going, hee hee.
Constantly.
All the
throughout
time. Yeah,
movie.
exactly. Like it's like ruining the movie.
Yeah. See where Bubbles is threatening Joe, and he's just like, hee hee.
That'd be awesome. I love Bubbles. They should put way more Bubbles in it. Way more molestation court stuff. Dude, that's a movie.
Oh, man.
They're right. They had a great movie, it sounds like, but they had to re-edit it. So it just like
Sure, yeah.
in the background showed the Jew Zionist conspiracy against Michael.
Completely cut the movie down.
Yeah. And everyone, oh yeah, another thing, this is the other thing with these Jews. They want to remove like fathers from any family that isn't a Jewish one, especially the blacks. That's what
Wow.
some black conspiracists believe. That the absence of the father in the black family is a direct directly related to the Jewish control of the world. And
Crazy.
that may in fact be true, but
Might be, yeah.
in these films, Joe Jackson cannot only be has to be the bad guy. He has to also be bitched by everyone, even Michael and everyone's like bitching him and then being like, "Yeah, that felt great." They're all like smiling, like, "Take that, Joe." And
We fucking got him there.
yeah, like they're all happy that they threw something in his face.
That's crazy.
Even Tito's like, "You couldn't let Michael have one night, could you?" And he's like, "What? I was at the show and it's the fucking green room. You want me not to come in here? You're crazy, Tito." You know? And he has this security guard who I didn't know this either. This may in fact be true. I didn't research the security too much, but he had a security guard who was more like a father to him than Joe Jackson. They imply, right? Probably not. I think Michael Jackson, in fact, did love his family and also Joe Jackson for the most part. I mean, they're always together. I mean, damn, I don't think he like completely hated him. You know, they make it seem like that. And
I just love the fact that the living Jackson family completely bitched Joe Jackson's movie.
yeah, all of them, even the security guards, like stops him from going after Mike, and he's like, "It's over, Joe. You no longer have any power over Michael." And then he turns around and he walks all cool and he has like this smug ass smile. And I was like, what the fuck, man? This guy, Joe Jackson, gave this guy this illustrious career, you know? Like Joe Jackson hired him to be his bodyguard, not Michael. Michael just didn't fire him. That's all. I don't know. A lot of unneeded Joe Jackson hate.
Poor dead Joe Jackson.
Yeah, he's dead. But
well, yeah, that's the only way that the movie could have been like this, I imagine.
Yeah, Joe Jackson would be like, "Man, make me seem cool."
Yeah, why you gotta make me seem like such a bitch this whole movie,
Make
man?
me seem like, or at least she'll be brutally beaten, Michael. I mean, damn, this is spanking him on top of his clothes. That ain't what I did.
It's completely unrepresentative of the truth.
This is a. When's he gonna molest these kids? Like Joe, he's like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is nothing. This is a nothing movie. Anywho, all in all, even though nothing happens in it, Michael Jackson is still really cool, and I love him. So I was happy to watch it. I left and I was like, It didn't show anything I wanted to see, but I still had a good time. So
He still moonwalked out of the theater.
yeah, I was like, I did one of those like very
spin.
Yeah, I did the spin just fine, but the moonwalk is all like labored and like clunky looking. It's not like a smooth one like how he
very choppy, clunky.
Choppy, that's the perfect word. Yeah. The illusion's not quite there.
It's like you're moonwalking over some dirt or something.
Yeah, my foot's getting all caught in it, It's like, hold on. I can do this. Let me try again. 1 second. Like one of those things, Anyways.
I don't have my loafers on.
We haven't done it in a while and we won't do it again. That was a close analysis of the film, Michael. But that's not all. Because even on these horrible close analysis episodes that no one ever watches, we get less. We get like 10 to 15 views a week. Sometimes more. Mostly just that. These movie ones are always like 4 to 6. I have statistical evidence that people hate these episodes.
I feel like that might change though if we ever get an Epstein movie.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I feel like that might change if we ever get an Epstein movie. And we do an analysis on that.
Yeah, people love Epstein. The Epstein should have reshot. They're like, some Epstein stuff came out. We should film a scene. They should have just kept, they should have made the movie 2.5 hours long. It was originally 2. They kept the molestation stuff and like, forget it. We won't make a penny off this movie, but that's not what it's about. Like, we won't make a penny off this movie. We'll pay everything to this stupid kid. But this movie's coming out and
awesome.
showing the trial. And then they're like, and then they shoot an extra 20 minutes of scenes showing the Epstein stuff. Anyways, even on these boring episodes, we finish with 3 crazy colonels. Caleb's crazy
Oh my gosh.
colonels.
Yes,
KKK.
that's what we finished with. Did you know that the original fire hydrant patent was lost in a fire?
No. Who would even think that there's a patent for it? I mean, I'm sure there is, but that's not the first thing I think about when I think of stuff.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
Wait, fire what?
Apparently,
Hydrant?
yeah, fire hydrant. The red things you see on the street to fight fires.
Yeah, I know. I guess, I guess that makes
So there,
sense.
there was a big fire at a patent office, and it's not known for sure whether the patent of the original fire hydrant was in there, but it's suspected that it was, and it like over 9,000 patents, early patents, were destroyed in there. So yeah,
Yeah, it sucks because like 99% of the stuff wasn't like made. It was just the patent.
yeah, possibly, yeah,
The fire hydrant was made. We don't got to worry about losing its patent, right?
yeah, yeah.
How does that work? Do you get to own, like, does every fire hydrant that goes in, you get a piece of that pie or what?
They were kind of. It's a little bit complicated because they were kind of independently developed, but one figure was kind of credited for having the original design. And yeah, I don't know if back in those days he did get a piece of it, but certainly nowadays that's how it works. But yeah,
Oh, interesting. So if I make a patent that's like a new fire thing and the city uses it, I get money for everyone that's installed.
absolutely. Yep.
Oh, that's
That is how it
amazing.
works. That's how that works. Yeah.
Dang, that's a good idea.
And then if people, yeah, patenting is a pretty good idea. That's correct. And then if anybody else like creates their own version that blatantly uses elements of your design, then you can sue them and then take all their money
We should do that. We should just try to.
in a very Jew-like way.
Yeah, that's amazing. We should do like we should create like some dumb thing that some like hella dumbass environmental thing that
Yeah.
costs nothing and force like make it so it like has to go in every like government building, like some
Mm-hmm.
dumb like mostly it's probably like I don't know something to test something or air something or other green something, you know.
Creed something, yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they do with like MP3, for example. That was a huge file format created in the 90s, and it's used literally everywhere. So the people who created MP3, basically they did a little bit of work, and now they get to collect money forever because MP3 is used in everything, and they get a whole bunch of money licensing out that patent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we can't make something better than MP3. I will admit that, but
No,
we
yeah, we
will
probably can't do that.
we'll work towards something like that. Yeah, some dumb thing that has to be included in code, like the Jew code or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
the Da
I'm
Vinci
sure if we could just
Code.
look at code log enough, we can figure out something that everyone needs to use in the future.
Yeah, just put
Sure.
an extra one that doesn't even do anything.
Yeah, a parentheses.
A parentheses, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, Interesting patents, huh?
Patents.
Gotta think about that. You gave me something to think about at the very least. I'll tell you that much. You
Well,
know
there you
who's
go.
cool? General Patton. Isn't he the one who created patents?
Yeah, I think that's General Patton, but yeah.
He's like, you have to keep, how do patents work? You have to create like a blueprint and stuff. You can't just like type a blurb about it, right? You can't be like, a machine that creates power out of like, electricity in the air.
Yeah, you do have to have like a design blueprint, yeah, that kind of shows how it works,
Interesting.
typically.
That can't be like a toy or anything, right?
It
Labubu
could be a
doesn't.
toy, yeah.
Labubu has a patent and stuff.
Yeah, I would think so.
Interesting. Okay.
They might just have a copyright, but yeah,
Okay.
certainly things. If it does something innovative and new that no other toy has done, then yeah, they can patent that idea.
It blows up.
Yeah.
Good
It
patent.
blows up.
General patent. The toy.
It kills you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good. That's very innovative.
That would be.
All right, good fact. That's a good one.
Did you know that the most leaves found on a clover is 50? Oh, sorry, 63.
They like documented it.
Yeah, it's
When
Guinness
though?
Book of World Records.
What year?
This was in 2023, recently discovered
Oh,
by a
recently.
Japanese man.
Oh, I was gonna say if it was like the old timey times, he probably just glued a bunch of clovers together.
Yeah, this is just some bullshit.
Like,
Yeah,
wow, well, this settles it. I
he's like
saw
a
with my own
carny
two
guy.
eyes.
We have it right here, folks.
63.
Yep, it's a
Not
good
many
number.
people can count to it, but the number 63 is in the news once again, believe it or not. A
Well,
Japanese man,
a Jap.
a filthy Jap. All
Leave it
right,
to those Japs to be able to count this high.
a Japanese guy found it. Was he?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: was he a scientist or just like a guy who's like, oh, oh, oh?
It's incredible.
No, I guess you'd
I
have
think
to know about plants and shit.
I think I don't think he's a scientist, but he is kind of he was involved with agriculture. He as a hobbyist. So he was kind of somebody who had advanced interest into biology and agriculture. So
Yeah, if I saw a clover with 63 things, I'd just think it was like some growth, like a small bush or something, you know?
that is essentially what it looks like. Yeah, you just be like, and then just step on it or something.
Yeah,
But
I
no, this
step
guy's
on it
like,
and be like, that'll
wow.
show it, fucking thing.
Yeah, get your 63 half leaf having ass out of here.
This is just the crabgrass, probably. Cut
Yeah,
it down.
exactly. It was deformed bullshit.
I gotta see this thing. Hold on. Did you paste a picture of it?
I
I'd
got
love
it.
to see it.
Oh, I do have a picture of it. Yeah, or I can look one up probably.
Yeah, that's great. I love this thing. I want to see the Jap too.
All right.
Remember, you know what that reminds me of? The Jap thing. That guy who just sued the girl for sexual harassment at JP Morgan. Yeah, this just looks like a freaking. This is a clover.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like a clover at all.
This looks like a. This image is so crazy. I knew he'd look like that.
Of course. I mean, what else?
But this image looks like it's not even
Just one of
real.
these hikikomori Japanese guys.
Yeah, he's like was riding his bike or something.
Yeah.
He's like, "What is that? Is
Hold
this?
on a second. Let me pull over.
Look at this hand image though. It doesn't even look real. It looks like he's like bouncing it up and down menacingly towards the camera or something. It's like a
It's superimposed on a blurry background of a hand picture.
yeah. It looks crazy. I'm sure it's a real photograph. It's a very good photograph in that regard. But it's like this looks like something in an '80s movie. Like it's flying into his hand and it's gonna go up his veins or something. This is great.
I like this picture of it personally, where they show like how he counted the leaves. You're gonna like this, I think.
How big? It doesn't look this big. How did he? These Japanese people are so crazy. They're like, I will cut a small piece of paper. It's small. You know, it's actually much smaller than it looks. And he's
Yeah.
throwing it up all menacingly again. He's like, "Tick, tick." All right. Anyways, this image is tripping me out, man. This looks like the same hand image. They just reversed it. They reversed the same
Well,
hand image and they freaking put these stickers on it. This is AI, I'm pretty sure.
it's probably the same person's hand, I would imagine.
Interesting. This is not 64. Nintendo 64. That should have been the Nintendo 64 logo. Too bad it wasn't discovered earlier.
Yeah, it's just a crazy looking clover. Yeah.
This looks nothing like a clover.
People see this, they're like, "What the? Why this?"
Yeah, this is sweet. This is yeah. The Guinness Book of World Records is so stupid. I guess it counts. What was the next biggest number? Like 5? 7.
Yeah, just 7 and then 63. Because
63.
no one gave a
Was even
shit.
64. Damn. All right, whatever.
The previous record was 56.
Oh, it crushed it. 13 more?
Yeah.
Or not 13 more, but
Well,
10.
7 more, but
Oh,
yeah.
7 more. Oh, lucky number 7 too.
There you
63.
go. Hmm.
Yeah. Not Nintendo 64. Fair enough. Oh, this is where he found it. It was just like in his backyard.
Probably, yeah, maybe, I don't know. Either that or just a random field in Japan.
He should crush this like bundle up so just in case, if it can produce one with 63, he runs the risk of producing one with 64.
Yeah, he doesn't want his record getting beat.
Should stamp the shit out of that place. Be like, he should have like took this picture with his goofy smile, stood up and been like, just like started crushing in front of the Guinness Book people, and they're like, okay, congrats. Um, this is not a good fact, but I took more joy in it than the stupid fire hydrant one for some reason.
Yeah. This might be an even more interesting fact. The 56 leaf clover was also discovered by a Japanese person.
Yeah, they love good luck. They're like, so much of good luck.
Yeah, they fucking love clovers in Japan. They're just I wouldn't have imagined that Japanese people would have such a fascination with clovers, but today I learned, I guess.
It's probably the nuclear bomb that blew up there. It's fucking making
Yeah,
all
it's the
these.
radiation that
Yeah, the
mutates them for
radiation made it
sure.
like, this thing's gonna
Yeah.
grow to be like, a gigantic like floating thing that shoots lasers or something
Yeah,
eventually.
it's gonna be like a man-eating clover soon enough. Gonna become sentient.
Yeah, that'd be very Japanese too.
Yeah. Did you know that snails can hibernate for 3 years?
No, they can't. They can hibernate for 3 years. They barely can even like survive. Like I see them get burnt out on a fucking wall. Like how can that? What?
Yeah, they go into a process called estivation, which is kind of like hibernation, but it's a little bit different. It's kind of what they do when there's no food or water or anything. So, in order to survive, they go into this period of hibernation to stay alive for long periods of time.
Like even when they're all burnt out on the side of a wall.
Yeah, I mean, if they have enough time to be able to go into that state, because what they have to do is they have to retract back into their shells, and then they cover the outside with mucus in order to stay alive so they don't dry out while they're hibernating. So if they can do that, then they will, and it depends on the species of snail.
Mm. Probably not the ones that are just in my garden, right?
Probably not your just a garden variety one now. Those ones just fucking die.
Interesting. How do they
Yeah.
come about? I see them. I never see them like. Yeah, have you seen them eat? They have like a little mouth or something. Is that true, or is
Yeah,
that an
yeah.
AI thing?
That is true. Well, they eat from like their mouth parts are kind of on the bottom of their body. That's why they're called gastropods. They eat from their feet. So, yeah. But they do have like mouth parts as well, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, snails are cool. I love insects.
Sure, yeah.
They're neat.
They're neat.
They're neat. If we were the size of insects, the world would be like, a billion times bigger.
You're right about that, yeah.
Well, anyways, if you liked what you heard tonight, you can listen to a new episode every single Saturday, 7:30 a.m. on X. And you can also subscribe to us on YouTube, so you can listen to us through YouTube. People like YouTube, I don't know. And
Sure.
next week we'll be back with a regular show that isn't about Michael or
Maybe.
maybe we'll somehow watch another movie. I don't think so. Is there any movies you want to see?
I mean, there's a lot of movies I want to see, yeah.
Like a
But,
new one that people will
well,
not hear about, or like a
a
crazy
new
one.
one, yeah. Yeah, I don't know anything about new movies, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, you didn't even know about Michael.
I had no idea, yeah.
Yeah, Michael, he's great. He's a great guy. Anywho, regular episode next week. You'll see, and Three Facts will be back as well again. And follow us at MackyRatHousc. Sometimes it's like someone subscribed to you or followed you, and I'm like, it's happening. But then it's just like one of these girls that's like, it's like OnlyFans or like a scam thing. It's like a girl, it's like Laura, and it's like a hot girl picture. And I'm
Yeah.
like, God damn it.
Damn it, Laura.
It's not Laura. It's just some Indian scammer, probably.
Yeah. Damn Indians.
Yeah, or a Somali terrorist guy.
A Somali pirate. Yeah.
Somali pirate, something like that. All right. See you next week.